Hey guys, Zach here and welcome to Hints Garage. Today I will be showing you how to properly adjust your BC racing coilovers and any other top brand racing coilovers. So you're going to want to start by jacking the front of your vehicle up or the rear, whatever you decide. I'm going to jack up your front. Make sure you look under your car for a proper jacking point so that your jack doesn't destroy your car. So you want to get your car to a point where you're almost off the ground, but not completely, because you still need to get your wheel locks off. Alright guys, at this point you're going to have your vehicle jacked up just a little bit, and you're going to want to still have your tire on the ground so you can loosen up those lug nuts to eventually take your wheel off. Alright guys, so once you got your lug nuts loosened on both sides, you can begin to jack up your vehicle all the way and put your jack stands underneath. Alright guys, once you have your car jacked all the way up and you have your jack stands underneath, you can begin to completely take your lug nuts off to get your wheel off. Okay guys, so once you get your tire off, you're going to want to set that aside. And so with your higher end coilovers, you will get 2 spanner wrenches, I think they're called. And basically this is what allows you to actually adjust your coilovers. And the good thing about this is there's no like unbolting anything. Once your coilovers are in, you can just adjust it from there. So what you're gonna want to do, is this is your locking nut to adjust your height. So obviously, you're going to want to take the smaller of the two and just twist it up so it has room to adjust. So once you have this nut loose, your locking nut, you want to take your big wrench of the two, and these two nuts right here, the top one is to adjust your spring preload, but since it comes from BC Racing, already preloaded, so you don't really have to touch this one. And this bottom nut is just to lock it in place so that you can do your height adjusting without screwing up your spring preload. Alright guys, so I grabbed my tape measure and I'm going to measure how much I want to raise it at this point. From here to the shock body is about 2 inches, and I want to raise it an inch, so I got to get that to 3 inches. I actually might go half an inch, I'm not really sure yet, but I guess we'll find out. And I think, actually that's just a little bit above 2, yeah. So we'll go to 3. So to lower the vehicle, you're going to want to take your big wrench from BC or whatever high, quality coilover you have, and you're going to want to spin this spring seat or this like spring dampening. You're going to want to change that. So you're going to want to take your big one, put it around here, and spin this one clockwise or like this, right to left to lower it. But in my case, I need to raise it, so I need to take the bottom locking nut. Keep in mind you got to make sure this bottom nut right here is loose and not on it, otherwise it won't be able to adjust. So you're going to take your smaller one, and if you want to raise the vehicle, you take your smaller wrench and you put it on your bottom locking collar, which is right here, and you spin that counterclockwise. So you want to spin it this way to then raise the vehicle to whatever desired height you want. Okay guys, so I ended up putting a jack underneath the axle to kind of raise it up a bit, and turns out I still was just spinning the locking nut or something. I think I was just tightening it. So I don't think it screwed up my spring load. I'm not sure, but I eventually just now got it to so it's rotating the whole actual like strut out of the shock body in order to raise it. So now that it's actually doing what it's supposed to, I can raise it to the correct height I need. So it's about, I'm going to go a little bit past 2.5 and see how it sits. Okay. Alright. And I'm just about at 2.5. And I said I was going to go 3 originally, but I think I'm going to go only half an inch, not an actual full inch, because we'll see. This is your big wrench. Make sure you get your small one. Okay. So, sure, we'll try that. So once you get your coilover to your desired height, you're going to want to take your locking nut and just, you're going to want to spin it down onto your strut, or your body, I should say, your coilover. And you want to take your small wrench yet again, and you want to take it and just tighten it. So spin it clockwise or right to left. It's not a big deal how tight it is, but I mean, you want to you don't want to wrench on it, but you don't want to leave it loose per se. So once that is all set, you are ready to put your wheel back on and go to the other side. Okay guys, so now that we got the wheel just snugged on there, we can tell how much we've raised or lowered it. So if you see here, I can fit a full hand in there perfectly. I mean, it's a little bit snug, but it's not bad. 4 fingers. I like to do the finger test to see how low or high it is. So yeah, so that's good over here. And we'll go to this other wheel just to show you. So this one, as you can see, this is why I'm raising it up. Got a little bump in my fender here. Not a big deal. This one can comfortably fit 3 fingers, but nowhere near 4. So we're gonna raise this one up to, it can fit 4 fingers, and then it should be good. So if you follow these steps, you can easily adjust your coilovers the actual proper way instead of the other ways that people have shown you on YouTube. This is the correct way. Do it this way and you will have no problems. Follow the same steps through the whole car. So do the front, adjust it to the height you want, measure it, check again, do all that good stuff. Then go to your other front side, do that side, and then do both of your rears. And that is how you properly adjust your coilovers. Okay guys, so another thing I wanted to add is these right here are your dampening, and if you look, you can follow what it says on there to either make your ride more soft or more hard, whatever you want. So because I popped that little bit out of my fender off, I fully stiffened it just for the ride home. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back to what it was originally. 8. Okay, so these coilovers from the factory, they come at a dampening setting of 8 from the hardest setting. So I just took that and I stiffened it all the way up and then counted 8 backwards to get back to the factory settings. The rears are the exact same, except there's a little cover, which I'll show you. So the rears, excuse my mess, but the rears are the exact same, except they're covered by these like plastic covers. I guess you could say it's for the interior to make it look nicer, I guess. So you just take Phillips head screwdriver, about a medium-sized one, take those off, and sometimes on the Eclipse, they have the rubber, these like rubber, they're almost like a grommet type thing. I think it's to protect it from water or whatever. So they have these on there, so you just take a flathead screwdriver, pop these off pretty easily, and then you can get to your adjustments. If you just put the coilovers in, these should already be off, unless you put them back on. I didn't even bother, but your call. So after you have all of your dampening settings to what you want, and all of your heights adjusted on all 4 corners, you are good to go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you learned something new or enjoyed the video, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next one.